You're listening to the CyberWire Network, powered by N2K.
Cyber threats strike in minutes. Your analysis can't take weeks. That's where Velox Reverser from Booz Allen comes in. It's an autonomous malware reverse engineering and threat intelligence product that turns weeks of painstaking manual analysis into minutes of AI-powered insights. With Velox Reverser, security teams can perform deep analysis to learn how malware works and how to stop it. It's an advanced product that works at machine speed. If you need to outpace evolving adversaries and strengthen your defense at scale, request a demo or start your 30-day free trial of Velox Reverser today at boozallen.com/reverser. Dutch authorities warn Russia is escalating hybrid operations across Europe. Ransomware shuts down the University of Mississippi Medical Center. PayPal notifies customers of a data breach. The FBI says ATM jackpotting is on the rise. Trust Connect malware masquerades as a legitimate remote monitoring and management tool. Researchers uncover the first Android malware to integrate generative AI. A critical zero-day hits Grandstream voice-over IP phones. The IRS slashes IT staff and technology executives. Our guest is James Turgall, a 22-year FBI vet and VP of Global Cyber Risk and Board Relations at Optiv, discussing the latest wave of tax scams and IRS fraud. And Doge dudes deliver DEI death blows. It's Friday, February 20th, 2026. I'm Dave Bittner, and this is your CyberWire Intel Briefing. Thanks for joining us on this rainy Friday here in the DMV. It is great to have you with us. Russia is escalating hybrid operations across Europe as it prepares for a prolonged confrontation with the West, according to a new joint assessment from the Netherlands General Intelligence and Security Service and Military Intelligence and Security Service. The Dutch agencies report a sharp rise since late 2023 in cyber attacks, sabotage, disinformation, espionage, and covert political influence, designed to remain below the threshold of open war. While a direct Russia-NATO conflict remains unlikely, it's no longer unthinkable, they warn. The Netherlands has faced distributed denial-of-service attacks, espionage targeting police systems, and activity probing critical infrastructure. Moscow is also mapping seabed infrastructure and relying more on low-level agents recruited online. Dutch officials say Russia's risk tolerance has increased, and the campaign is likely to continue in waves. The report urges stronger national resilience and closer public-private cooperation to counter a sustained asymmetric threat. A ransomware attack struck the University of Mississippi Medical Center on Thursday, shutting down its IT network, electronic medical records system, and clinics statewide. University leaders confirmed the attack forced widespread cancellations of appointments and elective surgeries, with emergency services continuing under downtime protocols. The electronic medical records platform was among the affected systems. Mississippi Medcom, which coordinates hospital transfers, was also disrupted but continues operating through redundancies. An FBI official said it's too early to identify the ransomware variant or origin. The full scope of potential data exposure remains unclear. Patients reported canceled procedures, including chemotherapy, and difficulty contacting providers. Experts warn ransomware can significantly worsen patient outcomes and prolong disruptions for weeks or months. Hospital leadership said reducing clinical volume is necessary to stabilize operations while the investigation continues. PayPal is notifying customers after a software error in its PayPal Working Capital Loan application exposed sensitive data for nearly 6 months in 2025. The company says names, contact details, social security numbers, and dates of birth were accessible from July 1st through December 13th before the issue was discovered and fixed. A small number of accounts saw unauthorized transactions, which PayPal says have been refunded. The company reset affected passwords and is offering 2 years of credit monitoring through Equifax. PayPal has not disclosed how many customers were impacted. The FBI says Americans lost more than $20 million last year in a sharp rise in ATM jackpotting attacks. In a recent flash alert, the Bureau reported more than 700 incidents in 2025 alone, compared to about 1,900 total since 2020. These attacks use malware such as Plautus to bypass bank authorization by exploiting the extensions for financial services or XFS software layer inside ATMs. Criminals typically gain physical access with generic keys, install the malware on the machine's hard drive, and trigger cash withdrawals without a card or account. The FBI advises financial institutions to audit for unauthorized storage use and suspicious processes. The warning follows Justice Department charges against 87 alleged Tren de Aragua members tied to jackpotting schemes. In a Manhattan courtroom, Arkansas doctor David Churchill described discovering his 27-year-old son, Reed, dead from fentanyl-laced pills purchased on the dark web marketplace Incognito. The site's administrator, 25-year-old Lin Rusang of Taiwan, was sentenced to 30 years in prison for running the platform, which facilitated more than $100 million in drug sales before shutting down in 2024. At sentencing, Lin's defense revealed that an FBI confidential informant had helped moderate the marketplace for nearly 2 years, according to Wired. Court filings allege the informant had authority to remove fentanyl sellers, but at times allowed flagged vendors to continue operating. Prosecutors argued the informant acted as Lin's subordinate and that Lin knowingly enabled opioid sales. The judge expressed skepticism about the FBI's prolonged involvement, but ruled that any government role did not diminish Lin's responsibility. Lin has filed an appeal. Proofpoint has identified a new malware-as-a-service platform called Trust Connect that masquerades as a legitimate remote monitoring and management tool. The service, advertised at $300 per month, operates through a fake business website that doubles as its command and control server and customer portal. Threat actors distributed the signed malware in late January 2026 using lures such as meeting invites and tax documents, often alongside legitimate remote access tools like Screen Connect and Log Me In. Trust Connect provides a web-based dashboard for managing infected devices, executing commands, and deploying additional payloads. Proofpoint coordinated disruption of its infrastructure and revoked a fraudulently obtained extended validation certificate used to sign the malware. The operator has since pivoted to new infrastructure, promoting a similar tool called Doc Connect. Researchers assess with moderate confidence that the actor was previously linked to Redline Stealer activity. Researchers at ESET have identified what they say is the first Android malware to integrate generative AI directly into its execution flow. The malware, dubbed Prompt Spy, abuses Google's Gemini model to adapt how it maintains persistence across different Android devices. Because app pinning methods vary by manufacturer, Prompt Spy sends Gemini an XML dump of the screen and receives JSON instructions on how to lock itself in the recent apps list. It then executes those steps using Android's accessibility service in a feedback loop until persistence is achieved. Beyond this AI-driven feature, the malware functions as spyware, enabling remote screen control, credential interception, screenshots, and app monitoring. Although distribution appears limited and may be proof of concept, researchers say it demonstrates how generative AI can dynamically guide malware behavior in real time. Rapid7 Labs has disclosed a critical zero-day vulnerability affecting all Grandstream GXP 1600 series voice-over IP phones. The flaw is an unauthenticated stack-based buffer overflow in the device's web-based API service, accessible in default configurations. With a CVSS score of 9.3, it allows remote code execution with root privileges. Rapid7 demonstrated the exploitation using a Metasploit module, showing attackers could extract stored credentials and potentially reconfigure devices to route calls through a malicious SIP proxy. Grandstream has released firmware updates to remediate the issue. The IRS has lost 40% of its IT staff and nearly 80% of its technology executives, marking its largest tech reorganization in 20 years. Speaking at an Association of Government Accountants panel, IRS CIO Kashit Pandya said the cuts followed broader federal workforce reductions in 2025, when the agency lost a quarter of its overall staff. The IT division began the year with roughly 8,500 employees. About 1,000 technologists were reassigned to frontline tax season support, a move that drew internal criticism. Pandya said the shakeup aims to break down silos and create cross-functional teams focused on end-to-end delivery. However, the Treasury Inspector General warned that IT staffing losses could jeopardize implementation of tax law changes for the 2026 filing season. AI is expected to support remaining staff. Coming up after the break, James Turgall from Optiv discusses the latest wave of tax scams and IRS fraud, and Doge dudes deliver DEI death blows. Stick around. When it comes to mobile application security, good enough is a risk. A recent survey shows that 72% of organizations reported at least one mobile application security incident last year, and 92% of responders reported threat levels have increased in the past 2 years. GuardSquare delivers the highest level of security for your mobile apps without compromising performance, time to market, or user experience. Discover how GuardSquare provides industry-leading security for your Android and iOS apps at www.guardsquare.com. Most security conferences talk about Zero Trust. Zero Trust World puts you inside. This is a hands-on cybersecurity event designed for practitioners who want real skills, not just theory. You'll take part in live hacking labs where you'll attack real environments, see how modern threats actually work, and learn how to stop them before they turn into incidents. But Zero Trust World is more than labs. You'll also experience expert-led sessions, practical case studies, and technical deep dives focused on real-world implementation. Whether you're blue team, red team, or responsible for securing an entire organization, the content is built to be immediately useful. You'll earn CPE credits, connect with peers across the industry, and leave with strategies you can put into action right away. Join us March 4th through the 6th in Orlando, Florida. Register now at ztw.com and take your Zero Trust strategy from theory to execution. James Turgall is a 22-year-old veteran of the FBI and currently VP of Global Cyber Risk and Board Relations at Optiv. I sat down with him to learn more about the latest wave of tax scams and IRS fraud. So today we're talking about tax scams and IRS fraud. James, this is a sort of an annual thing as it comes up on tax season here, but I can't help feeling like we're in a little different situation when it comes to this tax season because of the prevalence of AI scams. Is that an accurate perception on my part?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. You're 100% right. AI is taking all types of fraud, specifically phishing and vishing, right? So phishing, which is email, vishing, which is voice scams, and smishing, which is fraudulent text messages. It's taken that to an entirely new level.
Well, can you walk us through the kinds of, I don't know, the state of the art that's in play these days when it comes to these scammers trying to take advantage of people at tax season?
Well, it is amazing when you start to look at what and how they're doing it. So as I just talked about a second ago, they're actually coming at poor victims in three different ways, right? From three different angles, right? They're doing it from the fact of you are you're getting emails, you're getting voice messages, and what they're doing is they're creating this kind of pretext call. So it'll start out with statements such as, an email, your refund is on hold pending identity verification, or unusual activity on your IRS account, or you owe back taxes, final notice. And this, right, gets your attention. It gets a victim's attention. And then the AI now is smart enough to start to understand and actually get into a conversation with a victim, right? So it's like near perfect email tone, right? All their emails look exquisite. They match all the pages. When you start to, right, you engage with them, the AI is now smart enough to read the tone of the victim, right? So now you have the situation where you are communicating with the AI, and it's reading your tone. So if you are not sounding like you are, nervous, they'll up the tone of the email. They'll up the tone of the actual conversation using different words like, search warrant or arrest warrant or something like that. So the AI and the large language models are really adept now at engaging with the victim and actually playing along with that victim.
To what degree is this still a shotgun approach, or how easy is it for these scammers to have some information about their victims ahead of time?
Historically, it was very much a shotgun approach, but there's a ton of data. Remember, think about all the breaches that you and I see get reported in the news all the time, right? And so you get information, all those breaches, all that data, right? The millions and millions of personally identifiable information that gets out there and sold on the dark web. You got to realize the threat actors are taking that data, they're putting it in these huge data lakes, and they're writing algorithms that kind of bounce that data off of each other, and they are able to create some highly tactical profiles of individuals where they've gotten enough data from various different breaches out there in the world that they're now targeting them.
What are your recommendations then? I mean, given the rise in sophistication of these tools, what's the best way for folks to protect themselves?
I mean, they need to. First of all, they need to breathe in, breathe out, right? Take a deep breath, and understand that the fraud piece of this is a real thing, and it can really happen to them. And so they need to be vigilant, right? So, and to avoid the email scams, it's what we talk about all the time, right? So the IRS is going to communicate with you via U.S. postal mail, right? They don't contact people by email or text messages, right? And if someone is demanding from the IRS this immediate payment, that's all fraud, right? So you have to be vigilant. You need to look at that email, and you need to physically go up into that bar at the top and understand that it needs to come from the irs.gov domain, right? And if it doesn't come from irs.gov domain, it's fraud, right? And if there's someone calling you, and the voice sounds boxy, or you sense they're creating a sense of urgency on you that doesn't seem right, start asking questions that seem kind of off the cuff. But if you ask that question to the AI, right, what's the address of the building and you're right now, right? You start asking those types of immediate, what I call environmental questions, the AI will stammer and the AI will break because they're not used to it. It's not part of their script. And so if you get one of those answers that doesn't fit, then you immediately hang up because it's AI generated imposter.
Are there resources that the IRS has and the FBI? For example, I know you are former FBI. Does the FBI want to hear from folks who feel as though they may have been scammed?
Oh, absolutely, right? So IC3.gov, right, the Internet Crime Complaint Center, is the FBI's website where you should absolutely 100% report this. There's also a website that is run by the IRS, and it's phishing, PHISHING, at irs.gov, where if you suspect a phishing attempt, you can actually go to that site and it will help you verify whether or not there is anything out there coming from the IRS about you.
I think when people get hit by these sorts of things, it's very easy for them to feel like they're alone or they're isolated. They don't have anywhere to turn. And what I hear you saying is that that's not the case.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, there are a lot of resources out there. Even your local police departments are now trained in how to deal with this. But certainly at the federal level, you are absolutely not alone.
Is this primarily a social engineering type of thing? I mean, we talk that people should have antivirus and, ad blockers and all those sorts of things. But this particular type of scamming really strikes me as being human to human.
Yeah, this is not something that, a software program that, McAfee or whatever you use. Yeah, that's not going to stop this. This is social engineering, but this is social engineering where you're being bombarded from all aspects. Again, voice, text, email, it could be a telephone call. And again, all of this data is out there, on the dark web, and threat actors have access to it. If you've been, your Panera Bread, account was compromised, or, any of these breaches that happen out there, all that data is being sold on the dark web. And so it is absolutely imperative for you to think about it in those terms, right? It's not just an isolated attack. You're really being targeted.
That's James Turgel from Optiv. What's your 2 a.m. security worry? Is it, do I have the right controls in place? Maybe, are my vendors secure? Or the one that really keeps you up at night, how do I get out from under these old tools and manual processes? That's where Vanta comes in. Vanta automates the manual work so you can stop sweating over spreadsheets, chasing audit evidence, and filling out endless questionnaires. Their trust management platform continuously monitors your systems, centralizes your data, and simplifies your security at scale. And it fits right into your workflows, using AI to streamline evidence collection, flag risks, and keep your program audit ready, all the time. With Vanta, you get everything you need to move faster, scale confidently, and finally, get back to sleep. Get started at vanta.com/cyber. That's VANTA.com/cyber. Maybe that's an urgent message from your CEO, or maybe it's a deepfake trying to target your business. Doppel is the AI-native social engineering defense platform fighting back against impersonation and manipulation. As attackers use AI to make their tactics more sophisticated, Doppel uses it to fight back, from automatically dismantling cross-channel attacks to building team resilience and more. Doppel, outpacing what's next in social engineering. Learn more at doppel.com. That's DOPPEL.com. And finally, in a newly amended complaint, the Authors Guild alleges that federal humanities grants were terminated not through policy review, but by a pair of DOGE appointees armed with a keyword list and ChatGPT. According to the filing, Nate Kavanaugh and Justin Fox flagged National Endowment for the Humanities grants by prompting ChatGPT to determine, in under 120 characters, whether a project was related at all to DEI. Fox reportedly fed in short descriptions and accepted the chatbot's verdicts without defining what DEI meant. Grants mentioning terms like LGBTQ, tribal, or Black landed on cancellation lists labeled craziest grants or other bad grants. None so identified were moved to the keep folder, unless tied to favored initiatives. Termination emails were then sent from a private server bearing the acting director's name, though he later said he neither selected the grants nor drafted the letters. Efficiency, it seems, came with a chatbot and a grudge list. And that's the CyberWire. For links to all of today's stories, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. Be sure to check out this weekend's Research Saturday and my conversation with Tomer Bar, VP of Security Research at Safe Breach Labs. The research we're discussing is titled Prince of Persia, a decade of Iranian nation-state APT campaign activity under the microscope. That's Research Saturday. Do check it out. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. If you like our show, please share a rating and review in your favorite podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to cyberwire@n2k.com. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Alice has been a steady, generous force at N2K CyberWire, someone whose fingerprints are all over the quality and care our work is known for. As a senior producer, she's been instrumental in shaping T-, bringing clarity, rigor, and calm to a fast-moving beat, while also lending her sharp instincts and production wisdom across the cyber side of the house. She made hard things look easy, and she did it with grace. More than that, Alice has been a trusted teammate, thoughtful, collaborative, and always focused on making the work and the people doing it better. Today is her last day with us here at N2K CyberWire. We're thrilled for her as she steps into a true dream job, even as we'll miss her deeply here. Alice, thank you for everything you've given this team. We're cheering you on as you take on new challenges and can't wait to see what you do next. Our CyberWire producer is Liz Stokes. We're mixed by Trey Hester with original music by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I'm Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here next week. If you only attend one cybersecurity conference this year, make it RSAC 2026. It's happening March 23rd through the 26th in San Francisco, bringing together the global security community for 4 days of expert insights, hands-on learning, and real innovation. I'll say this plainly, I never miss this conference. The ideas and conversations stay with me all year. Join thousands of practitioners and leaders tackling today's toughest challenges and shaping what comes next. Register today at rsaconference.com/cyberwire26. I'll see you in San Francisco. Ever wished you could rebuild your network from scratch to make it more secure, scalable, and simple? Meet Meter, the company reimagining enterprise networking from the ground up. Meter builds full-stack, zero-trust networks, including hardware, firmware, and software, all designed to work seamlessly together. The result? Fast, reliable, and secure connectivity without the constant patching, vendor juggling, or hidden costs. From wired and wireless to routing, switching, firewalls, DNS security, and VPN, every layer is integrated and continuously protected in one unified platform. And since it's delivered as one predictable monthly service, you skip the heavy capital costs and endless upgrade cycles. Meter even buys back your old infrastructure to make switching effortless. Transform complexity into simplicity and give your team time to focus on what really matters, helping your business and customers thrive. Learn more and book your demo at meter.com/cyberwire. That's METER.com/cyberwire.